What if I told you there's a special note which you can find anywhere on the fretboard, which is going to give you that final bit of mojo and magic to any riff or lick? And then what if I told you I'm right now and right here going to show you how you can find that note anywhere on the fretboard so that you can add it to any riff or lick of yours? Maybe you'd be jumping out of joy. I don't know. I would have been if I had been starting out, because it took me quite a while to discover this interval and to understand why it was so cool. But now that I've done it, I couldn't live without it. So hi there, I'm Chris. And today, yes, we are going to look at a very special interval. And before I reveal what the interval is, I'm just going to explain why it's so cool. You see, you're probably aware that you have these bunch of notes that are called chord notes, or like arpeggiated notes, or basically the strong notes in any minor or major chord. And they're important because if you can identify them, then those are going to be your perfect like target or landing note whenever you're trying to come up with a cool melody, a cool solo, or even as you're writing a song arrangement. So chord notes are super cool and super important, and they're just the basis of pretty much everything. But then you have these notes that are right beside the chord notes. And they can sound horrendous or they can sound extremely cool. And there are a bunch of different ones as well, so they don't all have the same qualities. But I like them a lot because they add color, they add dissonance, but if you choose the right one, it's going to be the right type of dissonance. So not just totally outright wrong, like bebop jazz territory, but rather, sad, melancholic metal minor sound. And I love that. I'm a big fan of that. So the note and the interval I want to introduce to you is called the minor six. And it's called the minor six because it is the minor cousin of the major six, or the sixth interval. And the good thing with this one is it's super easy to find. And on top of that, it's my absolute favorite interval. So how do you find it? Well, the easiest way is just for you to grab any power chord. So you could do the like E5, right? There's your power chord. Now, all you have to do is move the fifth up a half step and you get that minor six, which is what I did in the intro. So you could play, or you could play. Right? That in itself is pretty cool, you know? Something. You could do a lot of fun with just that. But it doesn't really end there because, as you might be aware, we only have 12 notes to choose from. So that means we quickly get repeating fretboard notes on the fretboard, because those 12 notes can pretty much be found anywhere. You know, you have your E note here, you have your E note here, you have it here, you have it here, and you can check that your intonation is good, which might not be the case for me, but who cares? We're still having fun. That's what matters. Anyhow, you have these notes all over the fretboard, which means you can also find this magic minor six interval pretty much anywhere. So you don't have to stick to doing whatever. You could identify a power chord anywhere. So let's say you really want to go high up here to the E note on the 17th fret B string. You might be aware that you can still get your power chord and fifth interval up here. So all you have to do is move up a half step again from that fifth. Now, I'll often use that minor six as a starting point, and I find that if I do that, things get very exciting very quickly, because it just has that magic mojo being so close to, the strongest interval there is, probably, like a fifth. You have an octave and you have a fifth. Those are really that's why they're used in rock music throughout. There's power chords all over the place. It's such a powerful interval. And this one is just beside it. It's like your little crazy neighbor there, which really has some special stuff going on. Whatever. And I use that all the time. You know, it's just too much fun to live without. So to recap, all you need to do is find a power chord, and then you move that fifth up a half step and you get your minor six. Now do me a favor and play that all day long, because it's the absolute best interval there is. And then you can share your recording with me so I can listen to some minor six from you guys. That would be awesome. Have a good one. See you. You've been wonderful, and I've been Christopher Dahl.